bang on the money when she said that the president had gone very quiet. For once, I think it's possible that the president does not have a fake news problem. I think he may have a real news problem, being that, what if there really is a wiretap at Trump Tower? The problem the president has then is that I didn't report that, and neither did any other journalist, which means that if he tweeted evidence in an ongoing top secret case, then he obstructed justice, and that's an impeachable offense. And that's why I think the White House is being very quiet, not because it's fake. The problem they have is if it's real.
Do you have any sources or reporting that is relevant to that thought?
No, other than it was hilarious to actually be the subject of the White House putting out press releases about my reporting. I can tell you that they literally never got in touch with me, and they tried to say again and again that I had reported surveillance on Trump Tower, a wiretap at Trump Tower. I certainly did not. I reported faithfully the target of this warrant was 2 Russian banks, Alfa Bank and SVB Bank, and that permission was given to look at previously collected material on U.S. persons. That's what we call incidental collection. So no American was the target. The server at Trump Tower provided, as I reported, fresh evidence in order for the claim to be brought back to the FISA court. But the target of the warrant wasn't that server either. It was any communication whatsoever between 2 Russian banks, and it involved alleged offenses of money laundering and Russian money going into Trump's campaign. So if there's a real wiretap aimed at Trump Tower, then President Trump is in real trouble. Obstruction of justice trouble.
You, in your article, mentioned links in terms of your sources with the counterintelligence community. What are those links, and what have they told you, if anything, since your initial report in November? What brings us up to date?
Well, you'll understand that I'm not going to discuss my sources in the intelligence community. I stand by my reporting. I always have done. What I don't stand by is the President and the White House's attempt to put words in reporters' mouths. The BBC have confirmed this. I believe Fox News has now confirmed it. The Guardian have confirmed it. And the silence that you see on the Hill is because a top secret investigation that's ongoing cannot legally be confirmed or denied by anybody, except Donald Trump decided to take his Twitter account and tweet about Watergate, which is hilarious because actually Nixon went down for obstruction of justice, and you may well find that that's what will happen to Donald Trump as well.
You're alluding to, as the clock ticked here, your story and your reporting. There were questions early on, then we had the BBC, we had the Guardian, as you're alluding to, then also reporting on this. Then it became, if you will, more energetic around this theme line of these 2 banks and the question of a computer server that was at Trump Tower. Why do you think that arc of the way the story grew the way it did?
Well, I think first of all there was the story of the existence of the server was broken by Franklin Foer at Slate and David Korn at Mother Jones. Very important reporting. Right before the election, that reporting was debunked in a New York Times story saying that the FBI found no clear link to Russia and the server wasn't important. I then reported on the eve of the election, which is why probably the story wasn't picked up, which is fair enough. People had other things on their minds, that this warrant had been granted, not on the server, on 2 Russian banks, and that it enabled, in passing, James Comey to look at intelligence on U.S. persons gathered by friendly foreign agencies.
That was your reporting.
That was my reporting.
That's right.
Now, 2 months down the line, the BBC and the Guardian managed to confirm my report, and then we didn't hear much more about it because it is, in fact, a very secret thing, a FISA warrant. The amount of people that have access to the secret court is small, and the sources are small, and people are trying to independently confirm the reporting. Then we had nothing about it until Mr. Trump's tweet, and my world started going crazy. I thought, oh, he's confirmed the story. Terrific. And then everyone said, where's this wiretap? And I said, what wiretap? I didn't report a wiretap. What surveillance? I didn't report it. And I think the White House's desperation to find some reporter who said this is because if it's real, he committed obstruction of justice. Let me be perfectly plain to your viewers.
I want to go back to the FISA warrant based on your reporting, and since your initial November filing here, was that FISA warrant executed?
I have no knowledge other than I have reported, and given the way the White House has attempted to put words in reporters' mouths, I think it's really, really important to stick to what I know to be true. I know that the granting of the warrant happened in exactly the way that I reported. I also know, by the way, as I did report, that Director Comey went once in the summer, in June, to the FISA court, naming Donald Trump and 3 of his campaign, and he was turned down. So I reported that this was a second attempt. Now, the BBC went a bit further 2 months later and reported that there were 2 attempts in the summer, and they also agreed that the FISA warrant was granted in October, and Paul Wood of the BBC reported the date was October the 15th.
Yeah.
But we were very new. If you also think about when we reported this, especially my story, it was only a couple of weeks after the warrant had in fact been granted. I have no idea what Director Comey chose to do with the permission the court gave him, and I certainly didn't report it, whatever Donald Trump says.
When's the last time you spoke with those sources, and what did they tell you?
When did you start beating your wife? I'm afraid I can't give you any information about my sources.
I don't know who they are, just if you
whatsoever. Nevertheless, you know, I have no interest in discussing anything about my sources. Who knows if there is a wiretap aimed at MSNBC right now. I'm going to keep my sources to myself because I owe them that.
Louise-Mensch, thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty. We're keeping our watch on the breaking story this hour, and we've been watching the White House because we just got in the information within the last hour and a half, 2 hours. An intruder was caught at the White House right around midnight. The president was in residence there at the time of the security. We'll have the details next.